Welcome on in, Alpha Legion lovers. This is Spruce and Studs, and wow, we started off the Alpha Legion Horus Heresy line with an explosion of flavors and textures that was seen in the Primarch Alpharius. However, we shall see if JoyToy can keep up with this tremendous momentum of quality with the other Alpha Legion action figures. So the first of the normal Alpha Legion action figures to receive the scrutiny from me is going to be the Legion Praetor. So let's see if JoyToy can keep up its rapid pace.
The helmet is very reminiscent of Alpharius' helmet, but it's a lot less pronounced as the Primarch's. I really do like this crest that stands atop the helmet, but sadly it does not have the Hydra head. I find that the gunmetal outlining around the eyes really accentuates the metallic red of the lenses. So with regards to the pauldron and arms, first and foremost, let's start off with answering the question whether this Praetor is a V4 action figure, and the answer to that is yes. He is definitively a V4 action figure due to this pauldron joint here. Anyway, mimicking his epic-looking Primarch, this Praetor has the same gloss metallic armor that is found all throughout the Alpha Legion line, which I personally think looks absolutely incredible. The right pauldron has your Alpha and Omega symbol on it, but what I really like about this area is this gunmetal outlining, which I've said in reviews past makes a huge difference in how the action figure looks. Ooh, the left pauldron is so shiny with this bright turquoise Hydra that I don't think we've ever seen before. I think this icon looks absolutely incredible due to the design as well as the color choice. Now the chest region has very significant Hydra scales emblazoned all over the armor. Just like Alpharius, I find this texturization unique, visually gratifying, as well as optically pleasing. The Alpha Legion chapter symbol with some chains on it boasts front and center on this action figure. Again, I really like this worn gunmetal that is found on the outside edges of the chest plate. Then aside from that, the torso pales a bit in comparison to the chest in that it only features 3 cables that are running from the chest down to the lower regions. Now for the waist area, surprisingly enough, I don't find that many flavors that are hanging down from this region on this action figure. So this belt buckle has a very simplistic gunmetal skull. Perhaps a Hydra head or maybe a mini Hydra would have accentuated this area. Interestingly enough, the chain that is hanging in this area seems to have some spottiness in painting because some areas are more gunmetal looking than others. I find that the color scheme that is used for the tabard gives off a sense of a very soft velvety fabric. The tan shading really works well with the cream color of the rest of the cloth. Now focusing in on the leg area, as I said before, I really do love the look of this brushed gunmetal embroidery on the armor. The left shin area has the characteristic Hydra scales that are found on the chest region of the action figure, while in contrast, the right shin is completely smooth as the surface of jello that is only punctuated with the Legion 20 number of the Alpha Legion. The back of this action figure is also rather bland, with only the vast oceanic expanse of turquoise. Strangely, this cape looks a lot more flat than the tabard, but you would think otherwise because the cape has a larger footprint. The cream color that dominates the whole cloth, and the usage of tan shading is too sparse, so this gives the cape a little bit more of a simplistic sort of flavor. Also, the cape appears to be attached to the back of the action figure by this point, as well as this point by, I would guess, only glue. I kind of wish that they would improve the design of the cape by looping around the shoulder joint for a more secure fit. Backpack-wise, I do find it interesting that it has a prominent antenna that is sticking up, which likely means that the Alpha Legion tends to be in more communication with each other than their fellow Space Marine chapters. Alright, this Legion Praetor comes armed with this bolt pistol, which has a nice balance of black as well as this dark brushed gunmetal color that gives off a sense of weathering. Just like with most bolt weapons of late, the magazine can be removed from the bottom of the gun like so. There's also an option for a holster bolt pistol with nice textures. These textures mimic the creases of cloth or leather quite nicely. FYI, you cannot remove the magazine of the holstered bolt pistol. Now this power sword looks more like a falchion to me, but that is me being nitpicky. I like how the blade has this gradient of a dark gunmetal on the back of the blade and then migrates to a light silver sheen at the edge of the blade. I find that the gold on the hilt really jumps out from the rest of the colors on this action figure, which is a great thing because these contrasts of colors really draw your eyes to this area. Finally, this figure comes with a rather bold gold and red scabbard, which are vastly different from the colors of the rest of the figure. The red looks incredible against the turquoise of the Hydra armor. One thing is that the scabbard is completely functional in that you can sheath it. Another thing is that you can connect the scabbard via these ball and socket joints that are located in the waist. Alright, size and scale wise, you will notice that this Alpha Legion Praetor matches the same exact proportions of Titus. You can see that the leg length is completely the same, and the rest of the proportions match perfectly. And I think most of you know now that this version 3 Blood Angels Intercessor is shorter than the V4 figures that we've been given. And this is your side-by-side comparison of the Alpha Legion versus the Chosen that was recently released. And once again, you will notice that they are the exact same size.
I would have to say JoyToy slowed their pace just a little bit, but they still continue at their breakneck pace. Slight but very small disappointments include the cape as well as the back for me. However, the highlights outweigh the very small negatives, and those highlights include the Hydra scales that are found on the armor in the chest plate as well as the shins, and then the Hydra icon on the pauldron is absolutely incredible looking to me. And then finally, the differentiation between the different areas is achieved by this awesome gunmetal banding. I really think that this is a solid action figure that is worthy of your attention as well as your money. But I would say that non-Alpha Legion lovers may not be connected to this action figure compared to other action figures that may be coming down the pipeline. Anyway, members of the chapter, let me know what you thought about this action figure in the comment section below and whether you want to buy it or not. But if you do want to buy this action figure, you all know there is only one place to buy these action figures at, which is at David Toys. If you click on the link in the description below, you will be brought to their website. I have worked exclusively with them for 3 years and have encountered nothing but smoothness with them. And for us US-based people, again, the things that we are worried about are tariffs, and we do not need to worry about these in the action figures, as well as they still provide free shipping, which is completely mind-blowing to me. And folks, before you check out, do not forget to use the code SNS to receive 12% off of your purchase. So in closing, thank you so much for watching this action figure review. Members of the chapter, I'm extremely appreciative of your support. We still have the Saboteur Council, as well as the Hero Master that is going to be reviewed in the next coming weeks. So these are some very exciting times for the Alpha Legion lovers that are out there. So with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.